Hello, my dear Taurus. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between October 16 and October 31st, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I use the Mary Tarot with Mary White, and I have already shuffled your cards. This is the shorter mid-month reading. I will come back with a 15-card reading for the beginning of the month. I will just tune in for a few seconds to your reading, Taurus. Okay, so my dear Taurus, this is your past, and we have the Ace of Wands upside down. So Ace of Wands upside down might be energy that are aimed towards yourself. Maybe you are giving yourself and your mistakes and what you are doing and what's happening in your life too much attention. It's like you're hurting yourself with aiming too much attention towards yourself. Maybe you are you're putting too high demands on yourself as well. Ace of Wands usually is a card about, it's like the highest energy card in the whole deck despite the sun. So we can see this is an energy that's hard to handle. This person isn't very happy with having this energy. When you have this kind of energy, it might even feel painful. It's like walking underneath the eye of God. Might be very painful. But this eye of God, and this card is upside down, might be your eye. Like you're watching yourself too close. You are tormenting yourself too much, like whipping yourself to do things that maybe isn't really what you should be doing. So overworking, overextending yourself, stretching yourself too far. It might also, when we are tired or stretched out like this, we might also get problems with aggression or irritation, or maybe we lose hopes and dreams because we don't have the energy to do them anymore. So sometimes we can lose this like our own chi, like our own life force, because we have restrained ourselves too much or put too much demands on ourselves. And if you just sleep, take good night's rest, and maybe take away some responsibilities that you don't have to do, cancel things, push things into the future, and just rest. Because there's a lot of things happening on an energetic level in our lives just now. So if you try to push yourself like physically during this time to be some kind of hero, that might be what's pushing you over the edge. But if you're taking time to rest, you will also restore your patience, your sense of humor, and like being a more happy bunny. Okay. So, and this is it's almost very Indian with this this wings, very unusual. I don't know what kind of bird has those wings. It almost looks like they are painted. It might be feeling like some kind of culture, tradition, or shamanistic connection here. So you might need to connect with your fire, like the element of fire or the shamanistic side of you. Maybe this is time to go inwardly and see where this energy wants to take you, like on an internal level, doing a little bit of drum journey maybe, or yes, traveling back in time to another type of religion that was more in tune with nature. So in tune yourself also more with your inner nature. And here, of course, we have the sun. So this is the highest energy card in the whole deck, and it's the sun. So the sun is a very lucky card, but it comes with the Ace of Wands before. So as I said, if you are restraining yourself, doing a lot of stupid things that you really shouldn't do on a physical level, when this God's eye rests upon you in the same time as your inner eye rests upon you, that is way too much energy. It might burn you on the spot. Too much fire. So Also, some of you might deal with a fire sign. That might be a thing as well, or too much passion, too much energy. This wants to do good things in your life, but if you are already exhausted from the things that you as a human have decided upon that this is what I should do, these two combined might give you a little bit of trouble. But we'll see. Maybe you were doing just fine. Okay, yes, the Hermit. So I think I have told you this before, that in the age of monks and nuns and Christianity, medieval ages, I have heard stories about people that was enlightened and the other nuns or monks were afraid to go and give them food because they didn't want the eye of God to rest upon them. So I think this is a very holy time in your life, Taurus, and I have warned you before about taking on too much, or not resting, or not taking time to restore your body, restore your health, restore your energy. So why were they so afraid? Because walking underneath the eye of God it's like the dark night of the soul, because imagine that you are dealing with an energy that is out of worldly. It's kind of not in this, it's almost like it's on a too high of frequency. The sounds that you hear are too loud. The energies that sense to you are too high of frequencies. Everything, nothing is adapted to your bodily system and your bodily fluids and the chi that's running through your body. So it's like if you have electrical cords. I'm not an electrician, so I won't know exactly the terms of this, but if you have here we have 220 voltage, and if you were to speed up this with 1000 voltage or 10,000, that might burn your whole house down. So this is you, Taurus, walking underneath the eye of God already. Like it's here to make an evolution. Every time you go out in the sun, it has the power to affect your DNA. And the sun is always having the latest updates for the latest upgrade of the human race. So it's also kind of affecting our bloodstream. We might have been into some kind of a cataclysm with the sun that actually changed, so we have different blood types, but it might also have been people playing with DNA in the past. But anyway, I just try to emphasize the power that this high divine energy has in your life, and you don't have time to put, you don't have the energy left to put other burdens in your life. It's like you're called to be a monk or a nun, and you're trying to be like the ordinary person working the office place. Okay, it's like being called by God and still trying to do your everyday chores, when the really thing that you should do is to just tune into this vibration and start to learn to tolerate it. Okay, that's one of the things. It's more earthly also, I'm sure. It might be that you just had a sunny vacation on your own because you were a little bit like tired. So for some of you it would be like that, but it's the Hermit and the Sun together, so it's definitely spiritual growth of some sort. Maybe being alone a lot could have helped you restore your energy, and we can see this. It's very much needed, like this splash of water when you have been burned up or having burn damages. Having this splash of water might feel very good and cooling. So many of you will have big aches and pains and like emotional pain, and maybe having like problem with your nervous system, feeling that it's uncomfortable to be in your body, but it's just because the circuits is kind of being upgraded. We are changing the wires from being able to take 220 volts to being able to take 10,000. So that might make your nervous system feel like over the edge. or you're not working at all some days, not being able to take yourself out of bed, and some days being almost manic. So it's you have a little bit unbalance there, but it's everything is in order. It's just that if you're going through an operation, you can't in the same time, when you have done like brain surgery, the next day jump up and do a tennis game. So you need to feel in your body every morning what kind of state it is in, and not try to force it into slavery when it's already like I'm seeing like socks that have been worn and getting a little bit stiff and lying on the floor, and that's you, because you have overstretched yourself, overworked yourself, not giving your time to wash up and become like renewed. So, but some of you have been on vacation and renewed yourself. So this is in the now, and we have 5 of Swords. So it seems like there's a lot of demands on you, a lot of wise owls inside of your head that wants you to do different stuff. And if you don't do it, no one does it. But I know that there's a lot of like people that was non-expendable, like the whole world was revolving around them, and they are on the cemetery. So, and the world is still going on without them. So I'm saying this not to freak you out, yes, a little bit. So you will take this seriously, that your body isn't a machinery, and you can't push it to the extent of what your body can tolerate. Okay, Ace of Wands and 5 of Swords. It's like you're still going like human errand instead of the your soul's errands. Like you're still trying to fit into like bowing your head before authority, like your mom and dad, and trying to please them. So what's that all about? 5 of Swords might also feel like you are trying to do everything like right, and do the best you can, and still there's a lot of people watching and judging, and you feel like it's still not okay. It's like whatever you do, it's still not fine. You can never be good in someone else's eye. Either of you might have problem with aggression, problem with like big conflicts in your life with the Ace of Wands upside down and 5 of Swords. But as I said, if you have not been taking very well care of yourself, you won't have any patience left to show love towards the people in your surrounding. You will snap, and people might snap at you as well. So it might be a little like irritation here. Really central. Oh, so you see, you can't do this to yourself. You see what's going on a higher level. It's like being in a freaking volcano, like deep ocean pressure, like down in a volcano, not even water, it's fire and deep like diving. So a lot of pressure, and still you're thinking like, oh God, my pulse is too high, I'm feeling exhausted, what's going on, I'm such a sissy. I'm laughing, it's really not funny, but it's just because we are trained to put our mind over our body, what we are seeing here, mind over body. And when you are underneath this great pressure, I don't know, some of you might have seen the movie Tomorrowland, where they travel between dimensions, and to travel between dimensions they are squeezed to a very little hole, like a pipe, a very small pipe. And that is kind of what you are going through right now, being like tick 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 tick. And when you're coming out on the other side, you will have very low blood sugar, and you will be shaking, and your nervous system will be like cracked, and you will feel like like this, and you will still wonder like, I haven't done anything useful today, and yet I'm feeling like yeah, like this sock on the floor. Yes, okay. And and you can't find a reason. So you might feel, I'm just lazy. My body is lazy. I'm not made for this world. I can't tolerate it. I'm almost allergic to living. This is like I need to overcome this. And you don't need to overcome this. You are going through like major surgery, but on a high energetic level, like fifth dimension level. Judgment. Use your you have like a sense perceptuary system where you can feel if everything is all right in your body, and if it doesn't feel all right, call in sick, because some of you might even need to go to the doctor, and they will see that you are kind of burnt out, and you might need like, yeah, hospitalizing, even if it has gone this far. But it's a very good energy if you just had not had this this worldly view of yourself, like a person that needs to be under control and whipped to do certain things because in the bottom you're really lazy. If you wouldn't have had this conditioning, this would have gone just fine. If you were in this shamanistic tribe, people around you would have seen like he or she is going through a spiritual awakening. She needs to be fed and rested and bathed and nourished during this period, and 6 months later or a year later, you would come up to the tribe and tell them everything that you have found out in this journey of the hermit, and they would be grateful for it. And this is how they were evolving and surviving and thriving together, seeing what was going on, not just requiring like everyone need to do their chores. Yes, if there was like better times and not enough food, maybe you didn't have time to do this, but most certainly the most of you are not on the brink of starvation in a cold cave somewhere. And if you are, well, then I understand this, that there's a problem. But really, there's a lot of expendable persons, as I said, on the graveyard. So, Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is keeping your body tied with these logic things again. There's a gate there. You are not going to the castle in the distance because traditionally Eight of Swords is a situation where you have restrained your body, mind over body again. It's much like this card, but this wants to tell us, it wants to deepen this, the meaning of this, and tell you that you are kind of imprisoned by yourself. It's you doing this to yourself. I don't think that there's so many people in your surrounding whipping you like this. They are probably seeing better than you do that this need to be some kind of restoration of you. Maybe they are going to lock you into this garden so you can't run around doing things. Maybe that's the, yes, what I'm feeling for some of you might be like, even like psychic award. I'm not saying that Taurus is crazy. I'm just saying that if you're not careful, you will push yourself over the edge, and this is where you will end up with the girls and the guys with white coaches, like white robes, okay? So don't do that. Don't let it go that far. But it's also looking a little bit like this monastery that the hermit might live in. So maybe you need to close the door on yourself and see to that you are left in peace. Cut off connection with people for now. You can't, you maybe don't have the energy to act really polite or try to be like the best friend ever right now, when you yourself are going through something that might be taking a toll out of you. With the Hermit and the Eight of Swords, you might be very unreachable. People might have a hard time getting in contact with you. You might come out as cold and distant, and this might have been what you were trying to avoid all along, to not be coming off as this. So it might be your worst nightmare coming through, not having the the power to act collected and be the rock for other people. This shooting stars here, so you're going somewhere. This is not like the end goal. It's just like you need sanctuary, restoration, retreat, vacation, silence. Just to be able to do this, like download this big chunk of information or vibrational change. Okay, future, we'll see how it goes for you here, if you will self-combust. No, this is the King of Cups. King of Cups and the Hermit. This is much what I saw with Pisces, that they were also having problem with a little bit too much fire, and when they also had problems with some blockages. I don't feel this so much a blockages as like you need to take better care of yourself, but if you have blockages and they are being removed, there might be a tsunami wave of emotions as well. But this coming in upright for Pisces, it came upside down. So it seems like in the end you will lie in a puddle of water and heal. So that's wonderful. That's lovely. And some of you might deal with a water sign as well that wants to maybe if you have been in some kind of quarrel, maybe they have seen things, being alone, seeing things from a higher level, may make them want to come and say, well, I'm sorry, or this might be your therapist as well. Okay, so since it comes so much, if you feel that you have the need to talk to someone, spend a little bit of money to go to a therapist, or it doesn't have to be like that. You can go to something else that might restore your energy or help you through this, like Reiki healing or dream therapy, or just plain healing or regression therapy, or whatever suits you, but a healing act. So that will take you through this. It's like great, immense spiritual growth that will make you into a holy person. So Taurus is really going like on this, it's like you're going on a path. It's like a pilgrimage. And this is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to run around taking care of like stable of donkeys during this time, or prepare shoes, like not working during this time is what I'm trying to say. It's a pilgrimage that you are doing, and it's a holy pilgrimage, and you are on your way here, and you're healing. So let yourself become healed. And here we have the Seven of Discs. So this time might feel very unfruitful, like you're not accomplishing anything. The house still looks like it has always been looking. No changes, no like progresses. When people come and visit, everything is looking the same. You haven't made any progress, and you might feel ashamed over this. But this is like waiting for a harvest, waiting for the right moment in time. And we see what's happening here. We see the red from this and the sun. So it's like a new dawn here. It's like a new dawn, like a sun is rising here. And who are you to say what time it was supposed to rise? It's like you wanted to rise earlier so you can get up and do some work. But you need to wait for divine timing. You won't be like in any shape to do any big deeds until you have gone through this. And of course, this won't be for any Taurus. Maybe some Taurus has the time of their life, everything being fine. But this is for Taurus being called to awaken for real. So even you that has been like working on a spiritual path for years on end, or decades, or for your whole life, might still go through big challenges right now in your life overall. It's on the pilgrimage. On the pilgrimage, you don't need so much stuff. You don't have so much responsibility. You need to eat and rest and walk. and you don't have to, if you're rushing this pilgrimage, if you are trying to go there very fast, this will just exhaust you. You kind of need to go put the foot down, feel the setting underneath your foot, like how everything feels. Take the other foot, the same, and this, and eventually you will actually heal your body, because when you're doing things like in a very mindful way, moving in a mindful way also, this is putting everything in its correct order, and you're starting to heal. So your big challenge, because sevens are always challenged, is patience. The world doesn't need more people polluting and, you know, going to their work back and forth with their cars, or running around an office environment doing a lot of stuff. What we need is like wise people being able to calm themselves down and envisioning the new future, downloading this evolution and going into the future, making humans a more happy race. So this odd with you trying to be useful is something you need to let go of, at least for now. So we'll see where it goes with this very red fiery thingy. It's the Temperance card, and it comes upside down. So it's still saying that you have some problems integrating this new thing, like more play and fun and happiness. So the men in white coats or women in white coats might need to come and restrain you if you are not like learning to have a little bit of fun, enjoying nature and enjoying a day out on the beach, like enjoying a good view. Temperance card is your soul wants to calm down in your body, and there's some trouble, and it's like you are in this way, you were like this, and you are supposed to take in this whole new energy. You're supposed to fuse here, but you kind of don't have the time. You're stressed out, modern human being. You don't have the time for any pilgrimage or becoming monk or nun or doing a spiritual, like you have children, you have a house, you have a car, you have a mortgage, you have a boss, you have this and 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 this. You don't have time for a spiritual calling. So that's the problem, and it seems to be a problem in the future. You want to heal, but you want to do it like so, and then it's going to be ready, and you're going to shoot off and do the same old thing that you always did. But this is calling for a profound life change and a change of the rhythm of your life as well. I think you have felt this call all along. You just can't like logically comprehend how this should work in your life, and unfortunately I can't either. So we're going to take some card here to see what's going on with, yes, rain dance. This was the same as Pisces got, so some of you might be dealing with a Pisces as well, or the Pisces dimension of you, the one searching within in their feelings. So rain dance. There, I will read this for you. Be like a child and jump in the puddles. Dance in the rain and open your heart to the innocent joy. The vibration of rain as it dances on the pavement is pure poetry in emotion. It washes away all the buildup of dirt and grime that has accumulated on the earth. It's like these dirty socks I was seeing. So does it wash away anything you no longer need in your life? Smell the rain, be connected to this emotion. So a little bit more fun. Life is not worth anything if you're just being so serious. I want to see it with the 8 of Swords here as well. Skilled craftsman. Yes, this is of course you. This is what you want to go back to. You don't want to have this problem with being lazy. Before any new skill is accomplished, there's a time of learning where knowledge is shared and discovered. The apprentice that work hard in honing and perfecting all the facets of his trade will be in harmony with the vibration of the success of a skilled craftsman. Don't be too hasty to be an expert, because the journey will forever offer new knowledge and learning for you. So this is what you would really like to do. You would really like to be this skilled craftsman that's doing your fair share of work and showing everyone what a good person you are, and that you are kind of allowed to live. You're not a burden on society. You're actually contributing, when the truth is that you're not, because Taurus has been ages being the priesthood, the religious people, the monks and the nuns, and you were here to bring down wisdom, not to like build the monastery, but just sit and meditate in the monastery. So yes, you are not very useful when it comes to building stuff, maybe, especially not during this time, when you are going back to this old state of being a spiritual person. You're not supposed to run around doing a lot of things. But also, there's a saying, and I won't be able to give it to you exactly as it was said, but it's like, before you become enlightened, you need to chop wood and carry water. And after you become enlightened, you need to chop wood and carry water. So that's still true. But you can see the stillness of this picture, like a person being here and now, chopping wood and carrying water and doing everything in a way, very mindful mood, while the way you are doing things is more running around like this rabbit with fire in there behind. So that's another. It's like too much. You're requiring too much of yourself. And also the Temperance card, while it's upside down, refugee. I actually never read this card, so I have no idea what it means, and it doesn't want to. There. Refuge. It's this person in a cave. So there is where you're going to end up, without any food. And it's going to be cold. So because, yes, you were called by God, you are becoming this saint. When things get tough, we can accept the feelings and move on, or move inward to find a safe refuge where we can wait it out till things get easier. Don't fight this vibration. This is time for you to find calm waters and heal yourself in divine timing. So create or find a safe haven where you can truly be you, the you that you know and love so much. Even if you know that maybe others would appreciate you better if you were this skilled craftsman, this is really the essence of you. This cave person, but not cave person in a very like meaning of being not evolved, but more hermit kind of person, pilgrimage, living very simple, but on a spiritual journey to reach higher levels of human consciousness. So this is also this is a work worth doing, because it's going to save all of us from this downward spiral which human being has been on for quite some time, not taking care of themselves, not taking care of the earth, just like working for the man. Okay, this is future for Taurus, what you have to look forward to, a vision into the future which we can't see on this. Well, you need to take a good look in the mirror. Start with the person in the mirror. If you want to see a change on the world, you can't sit and say, well, oh, there's so many cars, or why are they doing so much pollution on the vegetables or whatever. You start with yourself. But what I feel is that there might be a little bit of over controlling also here. Always view yourself from many different angles on what you are doing. What is like harmonious and balanced, and what is just freaked out. So you're not putting too much pressure onto yourself to running to different stores to find like certain vegetables that's not ever have been in contact with any pollution. It's also these masks, what you are trying to be and what you actually are. Are you ready to show the true you for the world, or are you afraid of what reception it might get? So, and it's this arch. We see this with the Eight of Swords and a little bit with the refugee cave as well. Some kind of sanctuary where you can just sit and watch yourself like internally, not externally so much, but very much internally. See your reactions to things and yeah, be more mindful. Okay, so start with the person in the mirror and things will be just fine, and take time to just be a human being, not a human doing, as Eckhart Tolle says. Okay, so my dear Taurus, I want you to take really good care, and I hope to see you again in the middle of October for the beginning of November readings. Okay, bye bye.